Hello and welcome to my kitchen again. Today we are not making diabetes bars or anything diabetes related. We are going to make pepperoni buns. The only reason I'm making a video about this is because, and yes, I'm walking around with my selfie stick. The only reason I'm making a video about this is because every time I make these and I post a picture on Facebook, everyone's like, oh my god, give me the recipe! And I really hate giving out recipes, so I figure if I just make a video, which technically is probably much more work, then you can kind of see how they're made. So you basically need three things. Well, not really three things, but you need bread dough, you need pepperoni, and you need cheese. So I've got pepperoni, big ass bag, just basic uncooked pepperoni. You can use a log if you want and slice it yourself, but seriously, that's a lot of effort. This way they're just nice and evenly cut for you. And we'll go into my refrigerator over here, and we've got cheese. Use whatever kind of cheese you want. I'm just using skim mozzarella cheese. Use cheddar if you want, use Gouda, use whatever the heck you want, but the traditional type of cheese is supposed to be mozzarella for the pepperoni buns, which I should mention are apparently native, I don't think that's the word, but they are from Virginia. That's one of their, something they do down there is pepperoni rolls, I think is what they call them, but they're pepperoni buns is what I'm gonna call them. Okay, so we need to make some bread. So for that, you need some flour. I'm totally gonna drop my camera, you just wait and see. And or my phone, you'll watch it crash to the ground. So flour, regular flour, all-purpose flour. I'm sorry if this is making you car sick or motion sick. And then we need yeast, which, where's my yeast? Yeast, that's what yeast is. There we go. So just, this isn't quick rise, this is normal yeast. You can use quick rise, I guess, if you want to. I just like to use normal yeast. We need some salt, so we'll go up here in my, whatever this is, thing above microwave. For this particular recipe, which I will put in the comment section, I'll put a link to it because I don't want to type it all out. I don't have time for that. I'm really lazy. You're lucky I'm even doing this. And I will mention that any mistakes that happen along the way, I'm not editing anything out, so I'm basically just doing this as we go along and that's it. So we need milk for this particular recipe, oil, they're supposed to use butter. I think melted butter or something, which you can if you want, but again, it takes too much time, so it's much easier just using like an olive oil or something, and you get a little extra flavor in there. But again, you can use normal oil if you want, vegetable oil, or, oh, and I have lights, these pot lights up here, so that's why you keep noticing I'm over here, my face all of a sudden goes all blinded, and then over here I'm in the dark, and so that's why. Anyway, so I'm going to move this on to, oh yeah, and if you have one, use a KitchenAid Mixmaster. If you don't have one, it doesn't matter. It just means you're going to be kneading a lot more. Again, lazy. So I just prefer to use that with a dough hook, and then it does all the work for me, and then you really don't have to do much at all. Let me go over to my large recipe on my TV screen here. Yeah, I got flour, salt, milk. Oh yeah, you need water and then sugar for the yeast. Oh, the lighting's so much better out here. Look at the natural light. Ooh, fabulous. Anyway, yeah, so let's get started. Okay, and here we are. Welcome to my mixing bowl. So I will go through and say what's on the recipe as we go along. Like I said, it's also going to be in the bottom, in the comment section. And if I sound like I'm drifting off, that just means I'm trying to collect my thoughts as I'm doing this. Okay, anyway, so first you start off with 2 tablespoons of yeast. Again, that was the yeast I showed you. Can be active dry, quick dry. I don't think anybody actually uses fresh yeast, but hey, if you got fresh yeast, go for it. That's 1, 2 tablespoons. And then you also want, it says use sugar. I tend to use honey in my bread recipes. I don't know why, I just like the flavor honey gives as opposed to sugar. Apparently my honey's not open, so I'm going to do that right now. And lick the top while I'm at it. because that's one of the bonuses of cooking. So 1 tablespoon, I'll just squeeze an ass load in there and we'll call it 1 tablespoon. And then you're going to use half a cup. Out of the recipe, there's 2 cups in total you're supposed to use, but use half a cup of water. Warm water. Nothing too hot. It's to proof the yeast, so you don't want anything super hot because yeast is an organism, and if it's super hot, you will kill the yeast, and then your bread will not do anything. So it's much better to err on the side of caution. They say it's supposed to be like 110 degrees Fahrenheit, but seriously, who the frig is gonna, what's what I'm looking for? Measure the temperature of their water. Yes, if you're a fabulous professional baker, I'm sure you can. Anyway, I need a spoon. So you just want to mix that around a bit, get the honey going in there, get the yeast all mixed around in the water, and then you're going to leave it for 10 minutes to proof. And we're back. 10 minutes has passed, and as you can see, it's all sort of fluffy in there. If your yeast doesn't look like that, I don't know if you can kind of see. You should be able to see. Yeah, maybe if I get out of the light. No, if I get in the light. There you go. Now you can see. If your yeast isn't all bubbly and frothy like that, then it's probably dead, old, or expired. So you might as well start over because your bread ain't going to work out. You're just going to get basically Play-Doh. Ooh, I think I just spit in my buns. That's okay. They're just for me and John. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your flour. This calls for 6 cups of flour, but really it could end up being 7 cups and it could end up being 5 cups because all different factors, heat, humidity, if you put the exact amount of water in there, your flour itself, different type, make, all that sort of stuff. So just kind of start with, say, 4 cups, adding in a bit by bit by bit, and we're going to add also the other 1.5 cups of water, and we need 1 cup of milk. So here is my milk. Milk can be skim milk, whole milk, 2%, 1%, whatever. I'm using 1%. Doesn't really matter. In goes the milk, and then we'll put in our other 1.5 cup of water. And this can be just normal tap water. Doesn't need to be chilled. Or sorry, it doesn't need to be warmed like the water for the yeast. Now, I'm assuming you might be able to hear me while this mixer's on. I don't know. We'll see. So we'll just pop that up. Shouldn't be too loud. Where the heck's my button? Okay, that's not too bad, right? Maybe? I guess I'll find out afterwards. So start putting it in, cup at a time. You can use the wonderful little guide that I have, which is supposed to stop flour from going everywhere. So you just put it in there, but I find flour just goes everywhere no matter what happens when I'm cooking. So that's 1 cup, 2 cup. Now if you're making this obviously without a mixer, then you're just doing everything exactly the same, except your hand is that hook instead of the mixer. So you're going to be mixing with a wooden spoon to get it all to combine. And basically what you're going for is you want the flour, enough flour in here that the dough pulls away from the side of the bowl and basically cleans the bowl. That's when you know you've got enough flour in there. And I have totally lost track of how much flour I put in here. I think I'm on 4. Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Like I said, just keep putting it in. So it's going to keep doing its little thing and mixing. We will also put in a tablespoon of salt. I use kosher salt because it tastes way better than iodized salt. It has a much nicer flavor. And then we're going to put it in our olive oil. 2 tablespoons. So basically that's about that much. Really, it doesn't matter. Well, like, I mean, don't put like 3 cups in, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. You put 3 tablespoons or you put 1 tablespoon. Then you put another cup and a half in here, so maybe that's 4 cups. I don't know. And then we'll let it do its thing for a minute. Okay, so it's been kneading for a few minutes. Again, you'd be kneading this with your hands. If you want to learn how to knead bread properly, maybe search YouTube for that, because I'm not going to show you. Hence why I have the KitchenAid. So this is whatever it was, 5.5 cups, 6 cups, I don't know. The bowl was starting to get clean around the side, but you're looking for, see how sticky that is? You don't want it that sticky, so we're going to add more flour in there. You want to be able to touch the flour, or sorry, touch the dough. I'm eating it, that's disgusting. You want to be able to touch the dough so that your fingers don't stick to it. So I'll show you that in just 1 minute. We're going to add some more flour. Okay, now you see how the edge of the bowl here, it's all come off the side. That's what I was saying about it cleans the bowl. So, and then when you touch it, nothing on my hands. And it has more of a matte finish to it than glossy when it's wet. So that's what you want now. Now from this point, you've got enough flour in there. You're going to want to knead it, or again, just flick the switch if you have a KitchenAid. Do it for about 10 minutes. You may need to add a little bit more flour as it goes along, because as you knead it, you may find that it gets a little bit more moist. Just put a little bit of flour in, but be warned, only put a little bit of flour in, for the love of God. Because if you overflour it, it just becomes a pain in the ass trying to make it go back into dough again. So I'm talking like if it gets a little, this is cold, if it gets a little wet, sorry, just put like a tablespoon of flour in there at a time, or a sprinkling of flour just to get it going dry again. So anyway, we're going to put this on again and leave it for 10 minutes at least. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes. And this has been going to town. So I'm going to get my hook out of here. Now, even having done this in the Mixmaster, let me get the Mixmaster out of the way. I'm still going to just knead a little bit. I don't know if that's just a control thing for me or what, but come on. Oh, yeah. There we go. You can see, basically all clean in there, aside from that blob in the bottom, but that don't really matter. Alrighty. So, gonna get a little bit of flour, because it did get a little sticky, not like super sticky, but just, see, sticky enough that it's sticking to my countertop, because I didn't add any more flour while it was kneading. Now, I said I wasn't going to show you how to knead, but hey, this is how you knead. So you pull the bread over, use palm of your hands, push it down in, and you just keep doing that. Can you see why for 10 minutes this would suck? Because basically you need to be a muscle man, or have a lot of patience, or freakishly strong upper body strength. I have none of those. So just make sure you're like pushing it right in so it pinches right back in until you get a gorgeous smooth ball. Big huge ball. Anyway, so yeah. Do this for, well, I guess you've already done this for 10 minutes, unless you had a Mixmaster. Then do this for just a couple minutes, or you don't even have to do it for a couple minutes. It's completely up to you. Just make sure that your dough's nice and sort of stretchy like that. Okay, and once that's done, gonna get your bowl back. Usually, the best thing is just whatever you mixed in. Just make sure it's a big bowl, because it's going to now rise in here. And before we put our dough back in there to rise, you want to spray it. I'm just using non-stick spray. You can oil it with whatever oil you used. It's totally up to you. Just don't go crazy with it. And then tuck it all under like that, so it's a nice, beautiful little ball, and boom! Oh, that was loud. Oh, Chad, that was loud. And then just give a little spritz on the top. And then this now has to rise for about an hour, hour and a half till it's doubled in size. I'd say probably an hour and a half. So you want to then cover it with, what does this say? Enjoy the little things. Ooh. Cover it with a tea towel and put it someplace warm. In my case, that's going to be just my kitchen, because basically my house is that small that my kitchen is basically my living room anyway. So just put it somewhere warm. And now in the meantime, while that is rising, you can start grating your cheese. I'm not going to show me grating cheese because I'm pretty sure you've got that all under control, how to grate cheese, right? But what we are going to do, and what this is personal preference. You can put the pepperoni right into the, here, let me come down here and I'll have a little moment for you. God, this is low. You can put the pepperoni right into the pepperoni buns if you want to. But I find when you do that, then it ends up being not soggy, not the bun, but the pepperoni. I like crispy pepperoni. I don't like calzones when pepperoni's just put in the middle and it's, I don't know. As opposed to, you know, when it's put on top of a pizza and it's like crispy pepperoni. So, no one's ever said this, but this is what I do. I pre-cook my pepperoni. And to do that, I actually sit here and lay out 5 billion pieces of pepperoni on a cookie sheet. Or actually, usually it ends up being 2 or 3 cookie sheets. Then I put it in the oven about 350 degrees. Keep an eye on it. I honestly don't remember how long I ever cooked this for. I just do it until kind of the pepperoni looks nice and crispy. Because remember, it's not going to cook anymore inside the buns. Or like it's not going to get any crispier inside the buns. So you can basically cook it as crispy as you would like. But don't go too crispy. I sometimes, you know, seem to get distracted and walk away from my oven. And then I come back and I've got like basically pepperoni chips, which the dogs enjoy, but it goes very bitter. I'm all about crispy bacon, but I'm apparently not all about crispy pepperoni strips. So, yeah, I don't think you want to watch me lay these all out, but you get the gist. Keep laying them out. And then, oh, but anyway, yeah, so in the oven, 350, and then I said I don't really know the time, but you're looking at maybe, start looking at it at about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Again, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. If you like the weird, freaky, soggy pepperoni, then you can, by all means, just put it directly into your pepperoni buns. And then the cheese we're just going to grate. Obviously, as grated cheese, you can buy it pre-grated if you want to, but seriously, when you pay like 10 times the amount for half the amount of cheese, I don't think so. And that's just being grated as a normal grate. I guess you could do slices if you want to, but I don't think that would really work out because it wouldn't be distributed very well. God, this is a tedious task. And then I end up eating half the pepperoni anyway while I'm doing it. I'm being good right now and not eating at all. That's mainly because I already ate it when I opened the package a half hour ago. But that's besides the point. Anyway, so yeah, keep going until you've got this. And I'm clearly going to have another cookie sheet filled with pepperoni. And then we will pop that in the oven. Meanwhile, our dough is rising. I will show you these after they come out of the oven, just to give you an idea of what I... got dog hair flying up my nose. Just to give you an idea of what I like them to look like, what I like my pepperonis to look like. Oh, look at that. That's a weird pepperoni. I can't serve that to anybody. Raw pepperoni is not really that good. You kind of expect it to be that good, but it's sort of disgusting. Anyway, enough talk. Okay, almost done. Mine did one big ass tray and one little bit of a tray. And I should mention, I'm using parchment paper on here. There's no real purpose. Ooh. Pardon me while I fall over. I'm standing in one spot and apparently I can't do it well. The only reason is just because it makes cleanup a little bit easier. Pepperoni are not going to stick to a cookie sheet because they're like super duper greasy. This ain't no diet thing, so don't fool yourself if you think it is. So now I'm going to put these in the oven, as I said. I know I said 350. Let's do 375. We'll do 375. Start looking at it at about 10 minutes, and then, yeah, I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Alrighty, we've got about 2 minutes left. Let's see what's happening in the oven. Oh, got some greasy steam coming out. They've been in here for 10 minutes. I set the timer for 12 minutes just in case you're wondering. I'm thinking that probably looks almost done. I will leave the last 1 minute on there. So mine were 12 minutes in total at 375, as you can see right there. So we'll check it out in just 1 second. Got my glove ready. Boop. I don't know what the hell is with me saying boop all the time. Anyway, so there we go. And as you can see in my oven, for some reason, just those 4 seem to be super cooked. So those will be my little snack. And we'll take these out and the oven, stop it from going bang here. There we go. So there we go. Just so basically they're a little greasy, a little cooked. I'm obviously going to try one, not one of those super duper overcooked ones. But those ones will be yummy. They're just not yummy in the pepperoni rolls. And now onto the bread. Alrighty, and we're back. We got the pepperoni all cooked, which is... Oh, it's like hidden over there. Oh, I'm tripping on my dogs. Go away! Pepperoni is cooked there, and then I've got my cheese grated right there. Am I even on there? I can't even see. Oh, yeah. There. Oh, there's a shot up my nose for you. So there's my cheese grated, and there is my dough. God, this isn't easy to use when you're not looking at it the other way. Or the right way, whatever. Ooh, see, it's easier like this. Okay, now we're going to punch down le dough. For those of you who are unsure of what le dough is, that is French for the dough. Actually, I have no idea if it is. Ta-da! Look at how beautiful and risen that is. And this is the best part. You get to pretend it's someone's special's face, someone you really love, and give it a punch. And then the reason you greased it is so you can go boop, and it falls right out. And sweet baby Jesus child, that is a lot of dough. So I'm gonna obviously have a million pepperoni rolls or pepperoni buns or pepperoni whatever they're called. The things from West Virginia or East Virginia or Virginia. How many Virginias are there anyway? Which what? West and East, or am I thinking of West and East Berlin? Or West and East Germany? Why am I talking about the Berlin Wall? I don't know, whatever. I'll Google that shit later. Okay, so you're going to pour this out or dump this out onto a nice clean surface. Unless you're dirty, then go ahead and put it out onto a dirty surface. I don't care. I've got my pan ready behind me, just to plop these on as I make them. I'm gonna cut this in half, and I will tell you in a second how many roughly this is gonna make. If you run out of pepperoni and cheese partway through, doesn't really matter because this is bread dough, so what you're gonna get is some fabulous buns. So really doesn't matter. Okay, so make them sort of even just to make life easy as you're doing this. And then make it a little bit bigger. I'm not doing anything scientific here, just in case you're wondering, what's he doing? I'm just basically pulling it out just to sort of make it even. We're looking for about, I don't know, a golf ball size maybe of dough, and maybe a little bit bigger than a golf ball. Because it does rise again, so it gets pretty big. No, that's kind of still big. So we'll cut these all again. And then cut them again. So yeah, so about that size. So bigger than a golf ball, maybe a pool ball, billiard ball. I don't know what they're called. I'm not sporty. I cook, I eat, I watch television. Okay, so it doesn't really matter if they're all even or not. You can combine them, squish them together if you find that you've cut them a little bit small. Doesn't really matter. I don't care if you don't care. Okay. Okay, those are all done. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 30. 30. And there's 2 of us, just me and my husband. But we now have 30 pepperoni buns, which I should mention, these do freeze extremely well. And they are wonderful out of the freezer. They take like, I don't know, 30 seconds in the microwave or something. So, okay, I'm just moving all my balls over here out of the way. And then we shall start to stuff them. You can put pepperoni. You can put pizza sauce in this if you want. Oh, that one's big. You can put pizza sauce in it if you want. I don't like to. Again, I don't think the traditional recipe. I don't know why I'm saying traditional makes me think European or something, not Virginia, or East Virginia, or West, whatever it is. Yeah, the original recipe doesn't call for pizza sauce or anything. So just take it, boop, 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 boop. I'm gonna squish it out like that. So I don't know what size that is. Oh, I have a tape measure right here. Yeah, but I don't want to touch tape measure because it's super dirty. I'm gonna say 4 or 5 inches. So you'll find your dough's really forgiving and really elasticy. So don't worry about trying to or breaking a hole in it. Just to maintain consistency, kind of count your pepperoni. I usually do 5, so just plop 5 in there. And then my husband is a cheese whore, so I tend to stuff a lot of cheese in there. Like that. That's really bright. Maybe I'll move it away. No, oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, oh. These damn pot lights. Maybe if I put my head, there we go. Does that look better? Oh, as I move it back into the light. Okay, I'm wicked. There we go. Okay, got it, I think. Okay, and then all you do, fold up like that. Pinch it, fold it, pinch it, and then just the last little bits, pinch, 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 pinch. And you got a ball. You got a ball, and it's stuffed with pepperoni and cheese. And then you place it onto the cookie sheet, which I will show you that in a minute. And I should mention, don't go too thin when you're mushing this all out. Try to stay even. Just because you don't want the pepperoni to poke through. But if you're using the soft pepperoni, if you didn't cook it, then I'm sure that won't be an issue. So we've got 4, 5. I'll probably need more cheese, but I did buy 2 massive blocks. So put cheese in there, then we pinch it. You're pinching it, obviously, so your dough sticks together while you're trying to mold these. Pinch. Pinch. It's just a lot of pinching. That's it. That's a lot of pinching. And then, when you put it onto the cookie sheet, you're putting it the pinch side down like that. So then that way it doesn't pop up again. And then it goes down on there. Let's make another one. And then I think you basically got the idea after that. Oh, it sounded like a little toot because the air is escaping. And then after we have got these all done, 4, 5, you're going to let them rise again for another half hour. And then we are going to cook them. It's hard not eating all this friggin' cheese and pepperoni while you're making these. And you can put anything in these. I was making these well before I knew about pepperoni rolls, but I put ground beef with taco spice. Basically what you'd put in tacos, what you would normally put in the tacos with the taco spice, and you know, it's a little bit saucy and ta-da! And it's a little bit saucy and onions and all that sort of stuff. You can put that in here, so these become like taco buns. They're delicious. I've made them with ranch dressing and chicken. So just, obviously your chicken's cooked. Just cut up pieces of chicken, sauteed in a pan, and then squeeze in some ranch sauce. With the ranch though, it does sort of tend to absorb into the dough. So I will mention that. Don't expect it to come out all ranchy, gooey. I don't really like ranch, so I've never bothered to work on that recipe and figure out how to make it more gooey when you open it. Saucy. Cut into it, bite into it. Oh, there we go. I'm not even... There we go. But yeah, I don't know how many calories are in these. I don't really care, frankly. I guess that's why it's nice being able to use chicken and other stuff. You can still have the fun bun thing. And moms, you can make this for your kids' lunches because they're freaking amazing. With it being fresh dough though, and like no preservatives or anything in it, basically eat it within the day. And if you are eating it the next day, make sure you heat it up just to soften the dough, because fresh dough gets so stale so incredibly fast. But I mean, hello, it has pepperoni and cheese in it, so who really cares if it's a rock? It's still delicious. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna get the rest of these done, and then I will show you what it looks like on the pan in just 1 second. Alright, so those are the buns. As you can see, not perfect because that one has poked through because I went all crazy with the pepperoni, and that one I jammed my finger through, but hey, who cares? So as you can see, there's only 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. I feel like I should have been able to count that faster. There's 20 on there, and then that's because I ran out of pepperoni. So any extra dough or whatnot that you have left, you can just put it on there and turn it into buns. Or if you're an immature man like me, you can turn it into a penis loaf. So these ones are actually filled with pepperoni. That one's just a regular bun. This one is a large non-erect penis. They will cook at the same temperature and the same rate as the other buns will, so you don't have to worry about that. Well, look at all these shadows. Next time I gotta do something with this lighting. Hey! Oh, there we go. Okay, so these are gonna go into the oven at, no, they're not going in the oven. First, they have to rise. So I'm going to put them into the oven that I had the pepperoni cooking in. I know that my pepperoni oven is not that warm, but if you are concerned that yours might be too warm, you will probably end up par cooking them and you will ruin them. So just put them on your countertop, leave them there for about a half hour, cover them, and then they will roughly get about maybe half size bigger. They're not going to double in size again. If you have a penis like I do, it will get quite large, and we will show you that in just 1 second. Okay, now they've risen. You'll notice how large my penis has gotten. Now, before they go in the oven, the only thing we need to do is, you can brush them with butter, or you can brush them with an egg and milk mixture or anything like that. But basically, you just want to get them to give an extra little brown. So I just use the cooking spray. If you have like spray olive oil, that's better than spray whatever this is, canola oil, and just give it a little spritz. I know this is just basically white trash and tacky, but it's so much easier. And then I like to sprinkle with a little bit of salt. So just run some salt over top. We're gonna do these ones over here, which, not like you need a rundown on what I was doing, but I'm gonna give you another one anyway. So spray with the wonderful spray. And then salt the top. You don't have to salt the top. I just like to do it. And then into a preheated oven, 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. When they get golden brown, that's basically when they're done. Just tap the top if you are unsure. If they sound hollow, then they are cooked. Okay, let me get it. Okay, now our buns are done. And I'm going to cut one open. You can see all the yummy. It's a bun one. Let me get another one. This one has pepperoni in it. I'm almost positive. Well, that looks like a delicious bun. Let's cut this one open. Yes, we scored with, ow, 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 hot, hot, hot. Pepperoni. So we got pepperoni and all the yummy cheesiness in there, and it is incredibly delicious, but I'm not going to eat it because they're freaking hot. So don't eat it just yet. Wait for them to cool down a little bit. And that's all the salt. And I'm going to eat this bun in the meantime. Anyway, that's it. Bye!